Can't make it to the game? We've got your back. Just go to www.IndianaSRN.org and tune in to all of the live action or go to our on-demand service and relive your favorite moments.
This is the Frells family's land. When the sun comes out, the kids run and play right there. This used to be a shed. Now, it's where they get breakfast. This is more than just land. It's home. The Frells family runs with us on a John Deere 1 Series tractor. His land isn't the only thing that should live on for generations. Nothing runs like a Deere. Search John Deere 1 Series for more.
Visit Reynolds Farm Equipment, your hometown John Deere dealer today at reynoldsfarmequipment.com.
You're good at making big announcements. We're good at your insurance.
Start with Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance, online, over the phone, or in person, and stop knocking on wood.
You want a sports degree that is beyond the game? A degree that immerses you from day one and launches you into the business side of sports. With a sports management major from IUPUI's School of Health and Human Sciences, you'll have insider access to sports professionals and will learn from faculty with years of teaching and industry experience. There isn't a better city than Indianapolis to get the experience you need to launch your sport industry career.
From warehousing to transportation and everything in between, Piper Logistics does it all. Centrally located, Piper Logistics has 2 warehouses in Indianapolis and a warehouse in Cincinnati, Ohio. Piper Logistics houses over 1 million square feet. Along with our transportation department, we can provide service to half the United States markets.
Can I help you?
Yeah, I'd like to order a hamburger, fries, salt, maybe a large vanilla shake.
This is a trophy shop, can't you tell?
You got carry out?
Everything that you need we have here at the shop. Very unique. You order today, carry out tonight, that's our version of carry out.
All right, I'll take one of everything.
Well, that may take a little longer. We'll have it for you tomorrow night.
I'll be back tomorrow to pick it up.
We'll be waiting for you.
Bertner Electric Incorporated has been proudly serving our residential and commercial customers with quality electrical repair for over 33 years. We are fully licensed and insured in electrical wiring and electrician service packages. You'll receive a competitive assessment, whether you're a homeowner or a business owner, first-time or long-time customer. We offer free estimates for any new project. Call our licensed and experienced electricians today.
You want a career that creates experiences that are impossible to forget. By studying sports and events at IUPUI, you'll get hands-on experience in and out of the classroom. And with Indy as your classroom, there are high-profile events, sports franchises, hotels, museums, and large organizations across the city to engage, educate, and enlighten your student journey before you graduate. There isn't a better city than Indianapolis to get the experience you need to prepare you to handle any event, big or small. It all starts here.
At Morales Group Staffing, we are all about building better futures. And during these times, we are working hard to put people to work. We are now hiring for hundreds of jobs with pay up to $17 an hour. Visit our website at moralesgroup.net or text JOBS, JOBS, to 317-472-7600 to apply now and get hired today.
You're good at keeping the car clean. We're good at your insurance.
Start with Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance, online, over the phone, or in person, and stop knocking on wood.
High school sports fans, welcome back to Game Time. To pure spirit, to pure sport. Welcome back to high school sports.
Fans, I'm IHSAA Commissioner Paul Knighty, and I just want to say, welcome back.
This is Game Time. This is Indiana high school sports. This is your IHSAA.
You want a career that will transform your life while you change the lives of others by helping them live well. With a health or exercise sciences degree from IUPUI School of Health and Human Sciences, you will gain an in-depth understanding of the healthcare industry while preparing you for a variety of graduate and professional programs in health. And with Indy as your classroom, you will have clinical options within leading hospitals right in our backyard, as well as a degree from Indiana University, reputable leaders in the healthcare industry. It all starts here.
Can't get to a computer? Then we've got you covered. Just go to the IndianaSRN app and stay up to date with all of your favorite teams. You can watch live coverage or relive the experience with our on-demand service.
You're good at basement basketball.
We're good at your insurance.
Start with Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance, online, over the phone, or in person, and stop knocking on wood.
Mortgage Group. I've been teaching here at Guerin Catholic for 13 years. I've been assistant coach also for 13 years. And I think it's important in today's world that we have young people growing up with the morals and values of faith-based education.
Hello, I'm Dwayne Thompson with Integrity Mortgage Group, and I support Guerin Catholic High School because I'm good friends and business partners with assistant coach Tommy Mascari, and any chance I have to support a Christ-centered education for today's youth, I take advantage of that opportunity and support in any way I can with my time, effort, volunteering, funds, and commercials like these.
Together we soar.
Guerin Catholic Sports on IndianaSRN,
where you're always in the game.
And a pleasant good evening, everyone, and welcome to IndianaSRN's coverage of the City Alliance Tournament. First round action here on IndianaSRN in conjunction with the Indiana High School Athletic Association. First round matchup between the Purdue Poly Techies and the 6th ranked in Class 3A Bishop Chatard Trojans. Tonight's game is brought to you by the Morales Group. The Morales Group, building better futures, one story at a time. By Bertner Electric, your licensed and experienced electricians serving Central Indiana. By IUPUI Sports Management, a lifetime of sport with a winning degree. Piper Logistics, 3 services, 1 solution. And Reynolds Farm Equipment, your hometown farm equipment dealers. And once again, a pleasant good evening, everyone, and welcome to Bishop Chatard High School, the site of first-round action in the City Alliance Tournament here on IndianaSRN. Jimmy Cook alongside my partner this evening, the great Joey Lindstrom. Should be a fun one on our hands tonight. Chatard coming in with a continuation of their best start in school history at 12-0 on the year. They just passed last week, in fact, the 07-08 Trojans, who started the season 10-0 as the best start in program history. So, Joey, they're clicking on all cylinders. Meanwhile, the Purdue Poly Techies sit at 4-10 on the season, a non-association, IHSAA association-based program, scheduling top-tier competition when they can, hoping to kind of find some middle ground for their season. They will have their hands full tonight, though, against Bishop Chatard.
Not only will they have their hands full, they'll also be flooded with the task of trying to stop each and every one of these guards for Bishop Chatard that has been so effective all season, Jimmy. So when you look at what Purdue Poly has to do to make some impact in this type of tournament, they have to be confident with the basketball, right? When we only see 9 players on the court for them right now, short-staffed as ever, they have the ability to rely on Jushan Primus as their main scorer of the basketball, but at the same time, they need other guys to be able to step up as well, and that's going to be imperative if you want to take down the number 16 Class 3A.
Yeah, you're going to need your role players to make big plays, but you mentioned Primus. He comes in averaging just under 20 a game, right around 17 points per contest to be exact. And in terms of the box score and game-to-game, what Primus brings to the table, he's one of their most efficient weapons. I don't want to say 30, Joey, but you're going to have another breakout performance from him, along, as you mentioned, your role players making big plays, forcing turnovers against Chatard if you're going to have any chance in this thing.
17.5 points per game for Primus. His teammates average just under, on average, each of them have about 3.5 rebounds per game, right? So it's a plan that I think Coach David Teague is going to have. Get Primus in position to score, and yes, you might have to expect 30 points out of him. But not only that, you're also going to have to, if he is going to be the focal point of the Bishop Chatard defense, then he's going to have to get his other guys open, and they're going to have to make some shots.
On the other side of the floor with these Trojans, the undefeated season continues for Coach Roseman's group, being led by A.J. Roseman, averaging 16 a game. And when you look at it from top to bottom, whether it's T.J. Alexander, whether it's T.J. Ford, just to name a few there, they are as deep as any team, not only in the highly talented Circle City Conference, but as deep as any team across the state in Class 3A.
Yeah, I mean, it's the guard show with all the acronyms. AJ, TJ, and TJ, they know how to run the show. They have exactly what you want out of your guard play. They have terrific off-ball screen movement. They can hit the jump shot on the baseline. They all crash the boards for their rebounds. It's really just a testament to the way that Coach Roseman has given instruction to his guys to say, look, let's find the open shot when we could go make that offense happen. And it's stood the test of time. They've done so well this year and handled their business anywhere they've gone, including at home. So I expect nothing less coming in here to tonight.
It's a high-quality marketing department they have at Bishop Chatard, but I think your idea is spot on. We need a TJ, AJ, something cleaner, but it's not a T-shirt, I think, for the student section to utilize that big three.
Exactly.
Another player that you're watching tonight, Robert Davidson.
That's right. Robert Davidson coming off the bench. He's not listed in the starting lineup tonight, which is not, uncommon for him. He's got 10 blocks on the season. The guy does not let anything past him. And not only that, he's also going to crash the boards. He's going to box out hard. But he's the guy that I think if you're looking for maybe not always the most valuable player of every game, but one of the most important players, he's the guy you look for.
Taking a little deeper look at both these teams, In the Sagarin ratings, Bishop Chatard at 85, ranked 28th overall, 85.61 their Sagarin rating, third in Class 3A. Englewood ranked right at 43.64. That's bottom of the state, or near the bottom of the state at 354 overall. Combined records for these opponents, Englewood 60 and 88, Bishop Chatard 66 and 73. The first meeting between these two schools takes place tonight. John Harrell, one of our favorites, has this set up as a Bishop Chatard victory. The undefeated season continues, and they'll move on into the second round. Per John Harrell, a 75-34 victory for Bishop Chatard is where he projects this contest at. When we come back, we're going to have a look at the starters for tonight's contest, as well as Joey's keys to the game. It's Chatard and Purdue Poly. Back in a minute with the tip on IndianaSRN.
From warehousing to transportation and everything in between, Piper Logistics does it all. Centrally located, Piper Logistics has 2 warehouses in Indianapolis and a warehouse in Cincinnati, Ohio. Piper Logistics houses over 1 million square feet. Along with our transportation department, we can provide service to half the United States markets.
We encourage you to subscribe to our YouTube channel, IndianaSRN. Hit the bell to get notifications for upcoming games and more. Watch as many games as you want, as many times as you want.
You want a career that creates experiences that are impossible to forget. By studying sports and events at IUPUI, you'll get hands-on experience in and out of the classroom. And with Indy as your classroom, there are high-profile events, sports franchises, hotels, museums, and large organizations across the city to engage, educate, and enlighten your student journey before you graduate. There isn't a better city than Indianapolis to get the experience you need to prepare you to handle any event, big or small. It all starts here.
This is the Frells family's land. When the sun comes out, the kids run and play right there. This used to be a shed. Now, it's where they get breakfast. This is more than just land. It's home. The Frells family runs with us on a John Deere 1 Series tractor. His land isn't the only thing that should live on for generations. Nothing runs like a Deere. Search John Deere 1 Series for more.
Visit Reynolds Farm Equipment, your hometown John Deere dealer today at reynoldsfarmequipment.com.
At Morales Group Staffing, we are all about building better futures. And during these times, we are working hard to put people to work. We are now hiring for hundreds of jobs with pay up to $17 an hour. Visit our website at moralesgroup.net or text JOBS, JOBS, to 317-472-7600 to apply now and get hired today.
We encourage you to follow us on Twitter at IndianaSRN. Find upcoming games, video highlights, and much more. Follow us now at IndianaSRN.
Welcome back to Bishop Chatard High School, the first round action of the City Alliance tournament. Take a look at starters first for the visiting Purdue Polytechnics at 4-10 on the year. At 1 guard, number 0, Moses Itabo, averaging 9 points per game. At a forward, a 6'2 junior, number 25, Christian Perkins, averaging 7 points per game. Another guard and a junior, number 30, Will Zaring, averaging 6.7 points per game. A junior and a leading scorer, number 13, Jushan Primus, averaging 17 points per contest. Rounding it out, a forward, number 10, Gabe Story, a junior, averaging 5 points per game. Head coach is David Teague, 31-25 in his third year at Purdue Poly. For the 12-0, 6th ranked in Class 3A Bishop Chatard Trojans, at 1 guard, a senior, number 3, TJ Alexander, averaging 8 points per game. And another guard, a senior, number 4, TJ Ford, averaging 5 points per contest. A third guard and a senior, number 5, AJ Roseman, averaging 16 points per game. Another guard, a senior, number 10, Sylvester Williams, averaging 5 points per contest. And rounding them out, a guard and a senior, number 22, Carter St. John's, averaging 5 points per game. Head coach is Kenny Roseman in his first year at Chatard, 12-0 in his first campaign, 70-71 in his 7th year overall. Purdue Poly in their traditional road black unis, white numerals and lettering and the gold trim. Chatard in their home whites, blue numerals and lettering, and the black trim. It will be TJ Ford set to jump it up for Chatard. Moses Atabo set to jump it up for Purdue. Ball is back tap controlled, and it's a held ball.
To get the rare,
double
jump ball.
Yeah. The very, particularly at this level in college, very rarely do you see it.
Yeah.
We'll re-jump again. So this time, it'll be A.J. Roseman and Jushan Primus to jump it up. Primus wins it, and the tap controlled by the Techies. Scoop layup off the mark, out of bounds to the Trojans. Take a look at some keys to the game from Joey.
Well, I think it's right there. Moses Atabo driving to the hoop. I think that is an imperative part of what today's game needs to be for Purdue Poly. They also need to be able to keep up pressure. Boom, check number 2. And I think the third for Purdue Poly has to be, are you getting enough pressure on offense to create open looks? Are you moving off ball and off screen? If you're going to sit in the zone on defense, are you doing enough to close out on these shooters? And I think for Chatard, really, it's got to be business as usual. You obviously have a system that works just like that.
There's a lob to Roseman. Puts it in as the Trojans draw first blood.
But to finish the monologue, it's really got to be just handling business as usual and moving the ball and moving off ball to get guys open.
Can't have turnovers either, as you mentioned. Take care of the basketball. There's a turnover by the Techies. See how the Trojans try to take advantage of it.
A.J. Roseman on that alley-oop, already moving to the basketball. Those are the kind of off-ball movements that Chatard always has had, but I think Ken Roseman really has emphasized this year.
Nice baseline cut and basket made for Carter St. John. Good find as well. 4-0 run to open things for the Trojans.
Carter St. John's the type of guy that just kind of floats. He's moving in and out of the areas that he needs to go.
High shot is off the mark. Rebound for Primus. He is fouled. If it's in the act, he'll head to the line for 2. I believe it is going to be in the act. See where the foul goes. They'll go on Carter St. John. I'll look back at the lob. Executed to perfection.
Yeah, it was. He's so young, but just a couple years ahead, that's a dunk. Don't expect it ever in a high school game.
You could make the argument, and I hate to criticize because it's a beautiful play. That pass would have been led a little bit closer to the basket. We might have seen a flush.
Maybe. I would have loved it.
As would the fans and students in attendance. For the Trojans, pair is split by Primus. Foul again went on Carter St. John. Primus, excuse me. Set stops the run temporarily, makes it 4-1, 3-point lead for Chatard. They try to attack this zone. Wild shot off the window, won't go for Williams. Rebound scooped up and taken by Perkins. Right side, deep 3. Gabe Story off the mark. Itabo, the rebound.
I like the look, and then there you go. If you create offensive opportunities from rebounds, that is exactly how to do it. Great job of Moses Itabo to crash the boards.
Will Zaring with the shot there. Little 3-0 run by the Techies. First round of the City Alliance tournament, one of the most prestigious in-season tournaments the state has to offer. Of course, it's exclusive to the surrounding schools in the city of Indianapolis, but still, it's up there in terms of the hierarchy as the foul's on the floor. Go back and forth a lot of programs, and I'm not going to get into this debate right now. Foul's going to go on Jushan Primus, but which one's more impressive? Is the Marion County tournament? Is the city tournament? A number of schools, in fact, in the history of both those events, have flip-flopped or switched events into the Marion County tournament or the city tournament. Either way, they're both exciting in-season events as the shot's off the mark by Alexander. Great opportunity to be able to test yourselves against some of the top teams in the surrounding area. Great pass at the doorstep, shot off the mark by Story.
Yeah,
here come the Trojans.
If you're Story, you got to finish that. Not to cut you off, Jimmy, but if you're right there for the taking, right? If you're playing Bishop Chatard undefeated, those are the kind of shots that hurt you in the beginning of the game. But I guarantee you, the next time he has that opportunity, he'll probably have another one like that. He's going to make sure he cashes it.
Alexander at the line. Free throw is good. One more for TJ, a 67% free throw shooter on the year. We'll give the foul to Itabo. unofficially, his first. Second on the team. Both are good for Alexander. Lead back to 3 for the Trojans. A nice pass to the lane. Layup is true for Moses Atabo.
Not a lot of defensive integrity there. The shell kind of broke, and Purdue Poly was able to penetrate. Great job finding the open look.
And give credit to the Techies. Taking advantage of that window. Wild pass. 3 in the air. Roseman in and out. Ball tapped, controlled, and won by Primus. One of our players to watch for. Jushan. Nearly lost it. Gives it up to Atabo. Corner 3. Short.
Again, I like the look. Primus is going to keep penetrating. He's going to try to be the facilitator of this offense. And then you can get a turnover in the defensive end, create another opportunity.
Atabo off to the races. Layup, no. Rebound Trojans. Up ahead quickly. Nearly a turnover. Falls right into the basket of A.J. Roseman. He's got 4 in the quarter. Lead is 3. But to your point, though, Joey, you want to be able to see that inside penetration from a leader like Primus and being unselfish. That shot is off the mark by the Techies. Here come the Trojans. Being unselfish with the basketball and being not afraid to kick it out to your open men. He's not going to be able to do it all by himself. He's going to need playmakers to be able to step up when their number's called.
And I'll bet you Coach T definitely told him that, because as a player who scores 17.5 per game, and that's your leading scorer, if you're Purdue Poly, you're sitting at 4-10. Those wins have probably come in large part due to the efforts of Jushan Primus. So if you can get him into spots where he can get his other guys open because he's so volatile as a player, by all means, go for it.
8-5 your score, and that'll be over and back. Well, it'll be a foul instead on the Trojans.
Yeah, I think they got Alexander for maybe the reach-in.
We have that potential unofficially as his second, if that's the case.
Yep.
Correction, that is his first. Behind the back, operating is Perkins. Shot off the mark. Chatard pushes. St. John up ahead. Layup and won't go for TJ Alexander. A chance to earn the 2 points the hard way at the line. Take a look where the foul is.
Personal foul, Purdue Poly, number 25.
It's going to go against Perkins. Third on the team. First on him. Alexander 2 for 2 already on the night. Make it 3 for 3.
Yep, 67% from the line. He's a guy who, if you want, why not send him there?
This is the wrong take for this age group, but it still baffles me how there's so many really good teams across the state that have free throw percentages that are sub 70. Like Chatard's a very, very good team, and as a unit, they shoot about 68% from the field or from the line. Excuse me.
I definitely give credit to that take, but I also will say, I don't know.
There's more variables.
You think they'd work on it more, but at the same time, right? Like
it's not just them. It's statewide.
Statewide, yeah. No, I've noticed it too. In most of the games I've called, it feels like free throws aren't emphasized as much as maybe driving to the hole and trying to get baseline jumpers.
Leads extended 12-5. Here come the Trojans and traveling.
Violation. Volleyball.
30-second timeout taken by Purdue. We will stay here. Trojans lead it 12-5. Tonight's game is brought to you by Serenity Care Services. Serenity Care Services is an Indiana licensed service agency. They're a friendly and experienced team of caregivers that you've been seeking. Call Angela today at 317-900-6202. Serenity Cares, serving Indianapolis and the 5 surrounding areas. And by the IHSAA Foundation. Subscribe to our newsletter, The Advocate, at IHSAAfoundation.org. Thanks to the IHSAA Foundation for what they're doing for our student athletes. 3:06 left to go here in this first quarter. Jimmy Cook alongside Joey Lindstrom. 12-5 your score. 7-point advantage for the Trojans. Not the flashiest lay the hammer down open we might have expected. The Techies very much alive in this one.
They are, but you know what's so unfortunate, Jimmy, is they've had their opportunities but just absolute terrible misses when they should have had easy baskets, and that's just maybe the unlucky rim too. And
there's 50-50 balls right there. They had a ball stolen from them on the other end.
Yep.
The windows have been there for sure.
And they got to get Primus going here.
Off the mark by Primus. Rebound taken by Roseman. Davidson is back to Roseman. As they work at the top of this 2-3 zone, Purdue Poly presents. There's a steal. Perkins up ahead. Scoop layup is good.
Okay,
Christian Perkins.
Mr. Perkins.
Running point duties. An answer three in the air. Won't go for Davidson. Baseball pass ahead. Leaking out is Perkins. Can't get it to go. Quick release is true. A 4-0 run for Christian Perkins, and it's a 3-point game.
Christian Perkins is butter right now. I mean, the easy scoop, and then to follow it up, catching the baseball pass like a big tight end.
And accuracy for the most part on the baseball pass.
Yes.
I give credit there.
Yeah, got to give credit there to Zering. I mean, what a toss.
Tough pass inside, working around the horn. Alexander. Beautiful ball movement. Roseman 3 rewards it. 7 points here in the quarter for AJ.
Yep, Roseman, not a great three-point shooter, 26% from beyond the arc. But, I mean, man,
here's a
was
steal.
he open.
Up ahead. Wells lays it up like a gentleman and in. Kevin Wells gets into the scorebook. He averages about 2 a game, but has appeared in all 12 for the Trojans. An answer 3, that's short by Zering. Roseman all the way, and he's fouled by Perkins. Wasn't going to let an and one opportunity come about. Makes him earn it at the charity stripe the hard way.
Perkins was making sure that he was the only one that could get a nice little scoop like this, like we're about to see right here. It was. That was all for Jelly Fam right there. I hear that's what's cool now these days.
Do you? The finger roll.
The finger roll
was just exquisite.
Yeah.
It was very nice.
Yes.
I didn't know that's where we were going. I thought we were going right off glass, but just right over the rim.
Finger roll. I mean, sometimes the unexpected is just the best.
Particularly the fast break.
Yeah.
I know that professionally and collegiately that looks easy, but if you're not used to that, if you're not used to a fast break drive like that, particularly 1-on-2s, we have a jump ball off the missed free throw, to be able to break out the finger roll takes some guts.
That's a special thing.
Quietly, this lead has climbed to 9 for the Trojans at 18-9. They'll have it. Baseline out of bounds. Quick inbounds. Layup is missed, though, by McAllister. Up ahead, Kobe Jenkins looked like he initially lost it. Instead, it'll be still on this end. Official says, my bad. Primus to trigger. 62 seconds left in this first quarter. Quick pass. And it's stolen away. Davidson. 3 in the air. 3 short. Primus another rebound. All the way to the rack. Lays it up and in. He wanted an and one with it. Did not get it. His first field goal.
Deshaun Primus has been awesome on the defensive boards and trying to make quick offense happen. You know, just his 3rd point of the night, and it's because he's been trying to get his other boys open.
Beautiful back cut there by McAllister. Redeems himself. Makes it a 9-point game. I don't blame him for wanting to hurry. You still have to be careful and patient with it, though. But you don't want this lead to balloon any bigger. There's an answer 3-pointer by Damian Green.
Damian Green, right place, right time. Hits the shot. Very smooth and methodical. Great work to get that one off.
5th different techie to score. Williams gives over to Wells with 5. Williams with 3. Lobbing to Davidson. Miscommunication out of bounds with 1.2.
I love the pressure that Purdue Poly is presenting right now. You're making Bishop Chatard's essentially second line right now very uncomfortable in the way that they're trying to operate.
Primus gets the shot off, but it's no good. At the end of 1 quarter play, your first round action of the city tournament. Chatard leads Purdue Poly 20-14. Second quarter up next on IndianaSRN. Welcome back to Bishop Chatard High School. 20-14 your score. Start of the second quarter underway. As Purdue Poly out the basketball. Jimmy Cook alongside Joey Lindstrom. Joey, you need to see a little bit more from the Techies in the second quarter if they're going to stay in this ballgame.
I'm impressed by the way they've been able to operate. We thought that Bishop Chatard was just going to come out and just be a little more aggressive than them. But so far, it's actually Purdue Poly that's taken the more aggressive approach, trying to get open looks to the basket. They've hit a couple open shots based on Jashawn Primus driving to the hole and dishing to his teammates. Can they do more of that? That's going to be the big question, and they've done a good job making Chatard uncomfortable overall.
Alexander. Nice pass inside. That's tipped away. Active hands by the Techies, and they save it. Controlled by Story. Gets to Perkins.
I'm impressed with the way Zaring's playing right now. He did a long baseball toss up to Wilkins, and now he's getting another steal.
Perkins, a spin move to Primus. It's an air ball. Spin was pretty, but Primus unable to knock it down. Trojans in transition. It's true. TJ Alexander, 6 points unofficially on the night. The lead is back to 8.
Great move to get open, and TJ Alexander with a nice finish. I think if you're Primus here, all you have to do is be the guy. And that he's been all year. 17.5 points per game, right? Might emphasize it maybe too much, but if he's going to be the facilitator of this offense, against a really good team, he's got to make those open shots like there was on that opposite side of the floor.
Carter St. John went for the steal, but he was out of bounds. Stays with Purdue Poly. Floater, no good. It'll send Mose Atabo to the line. No, is it an offensive foul?
It was. It was
indeed. So it'll go against Atabo.
Player control foul whistled on Purdue Poly, number 0, Moses Itabo. His first.
Trojans will get it back.
Great job by A.J. Roseman to just stand there and take it. Sometimes that's the hardest thing to do, not move your feet and just kind of be the punching bag there. But he certainly took it like a man and got the foul.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite plays in basketball. Giving the body up. It is. You got a freight train coming at you in some instances. All you can do is just stay still. Occupy your space. Shot off the mark by St. John. Second chance wildly thrown up there by Ford, but he is fouled, and free throws upcoming.
Unlucky bounce out of the rim from St. John's shot, but good rebound by Ford to get and now get into the line. That's exactly what you want. If you can get an offensive rebound, especially underneath, George Michael would be proud trying to go up there and get the layup, but good that you get to go to the free throw line.
And the techie side of things, that's another one of your points and your keys to the game, Joey, is that they have to win those 50-50 balls. First chance is a miss, no second opportunity for the Trojans. Free throw, first one off the mark.
And I will say, I think Bishop Chatard really, if you look at this first quarter and a little bit into this second, they've been giving Purdue Poly some of those chances, right? And I think Purdue Poly just has to do some fundamental things, box out and just drive to the hole, make your layups.
Both free throws missed by Ford, a 50% free throw shooter on the season. Here come the Techies. Scoop layup, no. Rebound, and second chance, not that time. Able to be secured by Ford. Alexander left it for Roseman, and Williams will reset things. Still in this zoned look are the Techies. They've yet to trail by double digits tonight. A basket here would push it there.
I like the looks inside. If you get Carter St. John as that floater at the top of the key, he's going to be a guy that has to kind of suck the defense in so you can get an outside shot if you want.
Williams is fouled from behind by Perkins. He went for the ball there, unable to scoop it though. And we'll get 2 shots upcoming. That's the second on Perkins. Unofficially. Correction, that's his third personal.
Yeah, he's got to be careful. I like the way Perkins has been playing tonight. He's had a couple of good plays, but he's the type of guy who really you do need him defensively because he's one of the tallest on the team for Purdue Poly, and he provides a lot of spark and energy.
3 straight missed free throws as a team by the Trojans. And on top of that, Joey, when you look at the foul trouble, you only dressed 9 tonight.
Right. You gotta be.
You cannot afford.
You gotta be a little bit less liberal on the on how many fouls you're willing to give them.
3 in the air, an air ball by Green. It's saved, but right to the Trojans. Beautiful outlet pass. Roseman lays it in. 9 points for Roseman, and the first double-digit lead of the night for Bishop Chatard. The Techies have yet to score here in this quarter. It's a 5-0 run. Shots off the mark. Floated back and good. I thought the Techies had stepped out of bounds first and then jumped to save that ball.
I have to say, I agree with you. I think Damian Green might have stepped out, but, I mean, you know what?
You'll take the points where you can get them.
The live eye of the referee does not lie.
That's what they say. If not, they'll lie about it in a pool report.
And another nice finish from Gabe Story. I mean, Purdue Poly, at least if they're hanging within single digits of Bishop Chatard, if they can go on one run, you're right back in it.
I should clarify that. That was no remarks towards IHSAA officials. That was a reference to the Cowboys Niners game earlier the Bengals Raiders game in which the officials said there was no whistle blown in the middle of the play. There was a 3 from Roseman, even though there was one, and a timeout taken here by Purdue. If it's a 30-second timeout, we'll continue that rant on officiating. If it's a full timeout, we'll step away. It's 30-second timeout. Good for us.
Well, for a long time, officially human, still a beloved.
Of course.
Former friends, current friends of IndianaSRN.
And by the way, high school officials, yes, we cannot promote enough getting officials involved in today's game. And they are up there in terms of the most underappreciated professions in general. By the way, did you know the NFL officials, part-time workers? Did you know that? I did not. I figured,
full time, what have you. Yeah, I guess, if you're only working weekends, that takes the cake.
The job professions by many officials, I was looking through it the other day because there's a account that kind of tracks things like that. So many attorneys, like financial investors. It's wild.
I could see the deductive reasoning, what have you, for an attorney being helpful on a field, but, sometimes you can get things wrong.
It happens.
Sometimes you get things right. Or blow a whistle too early.
Ball out of bounds. Last touch by the Trojans. Anyway, bottom line, don't be taking Dak Prescott's advice. Be nice to officials.
That's right. Ashamed of Cowboys Nation as a fan.
Oh, I forgot that wasn't even supposed to be a dig towards
you.
No,
Jimmy, it's all right.
Pass inside. There's a foul called against the Trojans. It'll go against Davidson.
Trojans personal foul number 11, Rob Davidson, his first, team's fourth.
Fourth on the Trojans. Prime is set to inbound.
Now you're down by 10 if you're Purdue Poly. It feels like one of those games where if you miss a couple shots, Chatard rolls down to the court, and you're going to be at a significant deficit. You have to start crunching into this lead and getting into it with these guys.
Right side, Alexander. Beautiful ball movement. Davidson is hacked. He'll head to the line for 2. Still need a big rejection for him tonight. I want one into the stands.
I have to see it from him because I queued it up. Not only that, but he's also the type of guy who it kind of comes out of nowhere still. So look for the sticks there to get himself a block.
Plenty of action across our IndianaSRN family of networks. First free throw good for Davidson. In City Alliance action, Cecina taking on Covenant Christian at the half. Cecina up by 2, 24-22. That on the IndianaSRN family of networks. After the free throws, it's a 12-point advantage, 30-18. Tabo spins but has it taken away. Williams to the cup. Iron unkind. Third chance, and Davidson's foul. Headed back to the line. Things starting to slip away a bit from the Techies here in the second quarter.
A 12-point deficit is not insurmountable by any means, but the way that Purdue Poly has run down the court and tried to essentially force a couple shots, right? That's not going to help you. They've been good about just methodically getting on the court and just playing basketball. Feels like they're just trying to force what they intend to do is just go get a couple buckets, get on a little run here. But how you do that, you are methodical, you're patient, you're passing the ball. Just got to get back to what they were doing in the beginning, towards the end of the first quarter, beginning of the second.
Davidson short.
Substitution for the Techies.
We'll have one more.
Devin Chase.
Devin Chase back into the game for the Techies. Missed them both. And I stress that for everybody, not just the Trojans. That pass is deflected. Techie's able to get it back, but they've left about 5 points at the line in this first half tonight, Joey, and as an over and back is called against the Techies. It might not cost you tonight against Purdue Poly. It could very well cost you in this tournament, and that's how you get bounced in sectional play. I mean, you're a contender to win state championship. You have to be able to knock down free throws.
You do.
It's a bigger piece than that, but that is one of those little things that you might, it's not that big a deal. And then it's everything.
It becomes a huge deal when it gets down to crunch time within a minute or so, or when you're trying to build a lead and you're the team getting fouled and you're trying to secure a win. When you're not making those free throws, it can really come back to bite you, Jimmy.
Well, Davidson getting plenty of practice at it tonight.
Yeah, he is.
He's fouled yet again. Double bonus has been in effect for some time. Davidson, a 64% free throw shooter coming in, and that one is good.
I like the way Davidson lines up at the free throw line. His approach is nice, and he doesn't take too long at the line to shoot. He's no Antetokounmpo up there. No one's chanting any 10-second calls.
Yeah, you don't see – most people are very efficient about their free throw shooting. The Greek Freak, not one of them, but whatever gets it done. Shot off the mark by Story. Roseman leaves it right side. Catch and shoot. Carter St. John, no. Up ahead. Chase all the way, and he's fouled. Believe we'll get that in the act. If not, it'll be a simple inbound.
Devin Chase, a young sophomore. I think if he sees Primus there for the easy bucket, on the fast break, you have a 2-on-1 opportunity there. Maybe you cut into this lead a little bit, but you have another opportunity here.
Well, there's clear fundamentals in general that Coach Teague is continuing to instill and try and develop within this young group.
Yep, definitely.
And you're right, it's little things like that. Knowing you have a contested angle, but an open man on the wing or an open man to your left, that you have to be able to take advantage of.
It's so helpful, too, when you know those types of things and you're able to access that. And not only that, take advantage of the defense when they're out of position. And to your point, Jimmy, it is all about those fundamentals that Coach Teague is emphasizing. And they're going to figure it out. I mean, this is a team that is still young across the board, but still figuring themselves out.
Roseman. Now Wells back to Roseman. 2:20 to play in this first half, an 11-point lead. Open space for Williams. Cannot turn it home. A chance for two upcoming. Tonight's game is brought to you by Family Source Insurance. Family Source Insurance has you covered. Auto, home, life, or business. Call Pat Cherry to get a quote today. Give him a call at 317-884-8046. Look to Family Source Insurance for all your needs at 317-884-8046 or log online to familyinsurance.com. Williams splits the pair. The lead is 12, 32-20. And if you're the Techies, content's not the right word, but you're relieved that this is only a 12-point game.
Yeah, I think when
you scored 6 points in the quarter. Here's a turnover. Layup is good.
I think when you examine the way that this game has gone for them, maybe it does come back to an attrition type of thing, right? I mean, not a lot of timeouts have been called. You only have 9 guys on your team, right? And already you have Perkins in foul trouble too. And maybe some guys are trying to do too much, whereas before they were trying to share the ball. They were trying to get more guys open and get open looks to the hoop. And I think that's really what was imperative in the beginning of the game. And now they need to continue that as they go into the half.
Well, going in on paper in general, you're being asked to juggle with one hand tied behind your back.
Yep.
And then you have players who are only dressing 9 now, Now you're asking to do that with an eye patch on.
Right.
It's just more and more elements that are being put already with a stacked deck on the Techies. And they're still hanging around in this ball game despite all that. Free throw's good. Makes it a 12-point game. Roseman at the doorstep for Williams. Gets to the cup and maintains his balance to score. Little 4-0 run by Sly Williams.
People don't realize how tough that of a play that is. Trying to Euro step between defenders, a pseudo Euro step, if you will, right? But also creating that opportunity with your legs and kind of scooping it under.
Ben Wright, the senior, lost it. He's helped up. And I believe that's going to go to the Techies. I thought Wright lost that.
I thought so too.
We'll have a discussion and the call will be changed. It's the right call. The Techies faithful that made the trip very unhappy with that initial whistle. Able to get things changed and rectified. Chase matched up with Wells. There's Primus, one of our players to watch for. Catch and shoot, Primus 3. That's good.
Got to get him going. His first three-pointer of the night. Just his second field goal by my count. And he's the type of guy where you have to go get him the ball and get him open looks like that. And when you do that, he's going to create for you.
6 points unofficially for him. Lead down to 11. Williams again, and he'll head to the line. Sly Williams on a mission for buckets these last couple minutes.
Personal foul whistled on Purdue Poly, number 4.
Foul will go on Devin Chase.
At the line for the Trojans, number 10.
His first shots upcoming with the foul being in the act, but double bonus in effect anyway. Would have been 2 shots either way. First one good for Williams. Give him 5 unofficially on the evening.
For the Techies, checking in number 2, James Long.
When I examine this squad on the Purdue Ballet bench, see a lot of guys in street clothes, right? And I think that might be maybe in part due to injury, maybe in part due to what have you. But regardless, that does play a role. When you have only 4 other active guys on the bench,
shortens your rotation.
Make sure you get your rotations correct and get some fresh legs.
The expectations and the weight on each player's shoulder gets a little heavier when you have to shrink things and tighten things up like that. A good steal from Wright. Ben Wright off to the races. An extra pass to Roseman, who lets the defender fly by and puts it up and in. Unselfish play there by Wright to Roseman.
Roseman's such a talented player and knowledgeable, too. Knows exactly when to pump fake to get the defender out of the way and finish.
Primus lost the handle. Thought he was fouled. Wright, whip around and stepped on the baseline first. Good idea. He had Wells alone on the wing, but it's turned over, and in theory, last shot of the half belongs to the Techies. They tried to give it back, and the foul was committed. And that's where communication and knowledge has to be on point, because Zaring's walking up the floor, and you can hear audibly from our vantage point, get it back. And the defender knows that too.
Right.
Jumps the passing lane. Sly, very opportunistic. 2 free throws upcoming.
That he is. I mean, it's his 3rd steal of the quarter, and he's the type of guy who always wants to go make those plays, and he's so smart about listening to kind of what he's hearing and then acting on it.
Gets them both. The lead is ballooned to 17. Primus with 3. To the rim. Floater, no. Putback will not be. And that quarter belongs to the Trojans. A 22-11 margin. The Trojans outscore the Techies in that second quarter. They lead it by 17, 42-25 at the break. Some thoughts before we step away on both sides from that first half, Joey?
Well, it's hard for Purdue Poly, right? Because they're one shorthanded on their bench, only 4 guys to pick from if you need fresh legs. That's a challenge. You miss a bunch of easy shots in that first quarter to tie it up. That's also a challenge. But what you are doing is keeping pace and making Bishop Chatard uncomfortable, but not enough so that Bishop Chatard has missed a lot of shots, especially in that second quarter. They were on fire. And if you're Chatard, I mean, you just got to keep doing what you're doing, making people get open, creating opportunities from their offensive rebounds, getting to the free throw line, and moving off ball. And if you can keep doing that, this is going to be a breeze. But if you're Purdue Poly, the way you come back into this game, go back to your fundamentals in communication.
We'll see if the Techies have those adjustments in their pockets when we come back. We'll also see if the Trojans are able to continue chugging along. The winner moves on in the city tournament. First round action at the break of the City Alliance tournament. Bishop Chatard on top, Purdue Poly 42-25. We'll be back in a few moments. Start of the third quarter on IndianaSRN.
Today, greed, selfish interest, and barefaced corruption seem all the fashion. America needs great men of tolerance who can give honest debate to the great issues of the day. I've seen mostly squabbling, men squandering their time, being wolves to one another. Yet, I'm not without hope. We still have Freemasonry. Yes, the same Freemasons that helped create this country have always provided great men when needed. And today, in every city and town in America, Freemasonry is still providing that special place where young men can find their greatness and accomplished men can give something back. Yes, in this time of great hope, it is my hope that America will see that Freemasonry is a national treasure that cannot be separated from our country's future.
You want a career that creates experiences that are impossible to forget. By studying sports and events at IUPUI, you'll get hands-on experience in and out of the classroom. And with Indy as your classroom, there are high-profile events, sports franchises, hotels, museums, and large organizations across the city to engage, educate, and enlighten your student journey before you graduate. There isn't a better city than Indianapolis to get the experience you need to prepare you to handle any event, big or small. It all starts here.
How about something new? You played this last year.
Come on, get your head out of your sacks.
Shh, we're trying to hear. Well, I'm sick and tired of hearing your kid play the wrong notes. Where's my kid solo?
At least you can see your kid. Why is my kid stuck way in the back?
The conductor only plays his favorites.
My kid heard that solo!
You say my kid?
Yeah!
Hi, I'm Matt Wolford, president of the IHSAA Foundation, and we need your help. We need your help so the youth of our community can develop advanced leadership skills. We need your help giving high school administrators and coaches the instruction and insight they need to be better role models and teachers. To learn more or to make a tax-deductible contribution, go to IHSAAFoundation.org. You'll not only be contributing to the foundation of the IHSAA, you'll be contributing to the foundation of our community.
Can't get to a computer? Then we've got you covered. Just go to the IndianaSRN app and stay up to date with all of your favorite teams. You can watch live coverage or relive the experience with our on-demand service.
From warehousing to transportation and everything in between, Piper Logistics does it all. Centrally located, Piper Logistics has 2 warehouses in Indianapolis and a warehouse in Cincinnati, Ohio. Piper Logistics houses over 1 million square feet. Along with our transportation department, we can provide service to half the United States markets.
Becoming a licensed sports official is a great way to make a positive difference in the community and support the over 160,000 Indiana student athletes that participate across 22 IHSAA sports. Sports officiating allows you to stay connected to the game, become a role model for our young student athletes, earn extra money, and support the patrons and communities of our IHSAA member schools. To learn more about becoming a licensed IHSAA official, log on to ihsaa.org/officials today.
This is your IHSAA. This is your state. This is your high school. This is your athletic association.
Fans, I'm IHSA Commissioner Paul Knighty, and we're here to make sure that all of this remains yours.
This is your state. This is your community. This is your IHSAA.
Welcome back to Bishop Chatard High School. Alongside Joey Lindstrom, I'm Jimmy Cook. Halftime score, Bishop Chatard 42, Purdue Poly 25. First quarter went the Trojans' way, outscored the Techies 20-14. In that second frame, they outscored them and made that margin even wider. 22-11 did the Trojans. 42-25 they lead at the break. Joey, we talked a little bit about it before we went to the halftime festivities. But you need a lot of adjustments from the Techies, in particular, taking care of the basketball and making sure you're cognizant on defense against this Trojans offensive attack.
You know, not only that, you have to be smart about who you're fouling and when you're fouling. And I mean, over 12, you had 12 fouls in that first half. You had over 15 turnovers, and you're trying to play way too fast if you're Purdue Poly. So if you slow down a little bit, not even slow down, play more controlled, just play basketball, play loose. It felt like they were trying to force too much, Jimmy, and it just really went back to bite them. I mean, really, they were only down by 6 at the end of the first quarter, and then you lose quite a lot. You increase that gap because of bad shot taking and just being unwise with the basketball.
I want to remind you this broadcast is copyrighted by IndianaSRN and Indiana High School Athletic Association for the private use for audience. The use of pictures, videos, or audio without the express written permission of the IHSAA is prohibited. Leading scorers on either side, Deshaun Primus with 6 points for the Techies, 15 for A.J. Roseman for the Trojans. Leading scorer for Chatard has done his job with 15. Primus a little below his average, below pace for that so far. Came in averaging 17, just 6 points for him at the break.
Yeah, he's such a talented player. I think that he's going to give himself open and get more opportunities this half. I think that sometimes he was trying to do a little too much, and that comes with being the leading point scorer. If you're Bishop Chatard, you just got to keep doing what you're doing and figure out different ways to get guys open. Another guy right there, number 10, Sly Williams, showed up as he went through that second quarter and ended the half with 9 points.
Trojans will have the basketball to open this third quarter. Pass inside and a foul immediately. Oh, it's an offensive foul. I think it's going to go on TJ Alexander. Let's wait for confirmation from the officials.
Offensive foul whistled on Bishop Chatard. Number 3, TJ Alexander.
That'll be his second.
Team's first.
That possession ends, and we get the first look at the Techies here in half number 2. A triple team and a turnover. Can they get it to Roseman? They do. AJ lays it up and in. 17 for him now on the night, and it leads up to 19.
Opportunistic as ever, Sly Williams goes ahead and takes that steal on the triple team, no less. There's got to be somebody open if you're Purdue Poly, and they took advantage. Did Chatard.
Corner 3, Moses Atabo off the mark. Rebound, falls to the Techies. Floater is true. Gabe Story with 4. Right place, right time for him.
He sure was, and it was because he was in the right position with his rebounding, and he was able to box his defensive player out and move towards the basketball, get that bucket.
Williams feeling around this zone. A little extended 2-3 by Purdue Poly. Give and go. Alexander, good from downtown. 9 points for TJ, and the lead grows even more. It's now 20. Shot up, no, a travel call.
That's tough, right? I think he was trying to draw the foul as he went, but just a different type of play. Nice job by Alexander on the outside. Catch and shoot. Spotting up and letting it rip.
Alexander will bring it across. Techies extend this zone. Roseman can't help himself. He'll try the 3. It's short. Alexander the rebound. Left side, 3 in the air. Carter St. John, no good. Rebound Ford.
The strength of this Chatard offense is not beyond the arc, unfortunately. So maybe they are trying to just let it fly and see what happens.
Alexander knocks it down. 12 points for Alexander.
Sort of a good broadcaster jinx in the opposite way.
Exactly. And if they're going to sit back in the 2-3 zone, might as well try to tee it up.
Right.
Foul on the floor. I believe that's on Williams.
Personal foul whistled on the Trojans. Number 10, Sly
That'll be his second. Second on the team. Techies to inbound. Perkins in trouble. Bullies his way to the cup and scoop layup. Opposite hand is good. Christian Perkins into the bag. He's got 6.
Perkins smooth again. We saw a little jelly earlier with him on the fast break. This time splits 2 defenders to get down into the paint. Strikes right through and lays it in.
St. John, left side. Alexander in and out on the triple. Chase the rebound. That's Perkins again in a double team. Quickly up ahead. Primus, Daylight, floater, good.
That's what you need out of your playmaker. Getting Jushan Primus wide open into that lane and getting him up for a layup.
8 points for him. Williams working the pivot. Now they reset things. Scoreboard update, end of the third quarter. Cecina on top of Covenant Christian. 31, correction. Let me flop that. Covenant Christian regains the lead. They lead Cecina 32-31 at the end of the third quarter as traveling is called against the Trojans. Ball back to the Techies. Approaching the halfway mark of this third quarter. Primus matched up with Alexander. It's a turnover. Off to the races. Williams had the defender on his hip. Missed the layup. Rebound Alexander. No look. Roseman. Extra pass. Alexander. To Roseman for 3. That's good. A.J. Roseman from downtown. He's got 20 on the night. The lead is ballooned to 22, matching the largest of the game. Here's another steal. The layup is silky smooth from TJ Alexander. 8 points for him in this third quarter. He's got 14 on the night. Timeout Purdue Poly. It is a full timeout. We'll take one as well. 4:15 left in the third. 24-point lead for the Trojans.
We encourage you to subscribe to our YouTube channel, IndianaSRN. Hit the bell to get notifications for upcoming games and more. Watch as many games as you want, as many times as you want.
Back here at Bishop Chatard High School, 4:15 left in the third. Trojans on top, Purdue Poly, 55-31 here in the City Alliance first round tournament action. Jimmy Cook alongside Joey Lindstrom. Tonight's game brought to you by IHSAA officials. Get involved in the game. Become an IHSAA official today by contacting Sandra Walter at ihsaa.org/officials. Stay in shape, get some extra money while you're at it as well. Training classes are starting for the spring season right now. Contact Sandra Walter today at 317-846-6601. Ball out of bounds. It'll stay with the Techies, who are in desperate need of some offense. Only 6 points for them in this third quarter. Meanwhile, 13 for the Trojans. Offensive foul the other way. We just talked about it, the kind of miscues you cannot have if you want to hang around in this one.
You certainly can, and I think Coach T, you see him with his arms crossed. He's obviously not frustrated with his team. He just knows that, look, they're still going through these growing pains, and he has to be emphasizing those kind of fundamentals. And
Roseman 3 off the mark. Primus, the Euro. Iron unkind. Out of bounds. It will stay with the Techies. Itabo down the lane. Great defense by Roseman.
It was, kept body right in front of him.
And an even better pass. Hot potato with it. Davidson gets to go. He's got 5.
Robert Davidson, a great job streaking up court. We're going to see another example here.
Williams, unselfish with it, executing the weave to perfection. TJ Alexander, 10 points here in the quarter, 16 on the evening. It's a 28-point lead for the Trojans. Primus lost it in the air. Out of bounds, last touched by Bishop Chatard.
Substitutions, Bishop Chatard, 15, Kevin Wells, and number 1.
Well, we're getting close to the territory where Purdue Poly, not an association school, but members of this city tournament, and at the very least, for their own postseason events that they will partake in, this is getting into the territory of how do we get better as a team? What do we grow with situationally in this game against top-tier competition, even if, barring a big-time comeback, we're not walking out here with a W?
Yeah, I think it's it could be a number of things. Number one, you do get better by playing better teams, and whether that's by making mistakes or finding out you could do different things. Like I'm sure Christian Perkins had that part of his game where he's been able to drive to the hoop and be smooth underneath the basket, and he's showing it out tonight. Like those are kind of little bright spot moments when you look, if you're David Teague and you look at this team and you say, hey, I know that my guys can do this, this, and this. Wow, I didn't know that before. That's awesome.
Up the way, that's going the other way. Offensive foul, you knew it right away. Sliding in to take that charge, Kevin Wells.
And if you're not an association school, as you progress through that, and if that's the goal, right, like you are going to be able to do that. And because of the things that you're seeing now when you're playing these better opponents. And it's like the take, right? Like if it's the age-old cliche, like if you're going to beat the best, you have to beat the best, right? And so it's a continuous process, and they're going to take these little lumps and say, all right, let's get better.
Plenty of areas to improve and study from. A no-look pass. Wade McAllister gets it to go. Give him 6 points. Make that 4 points rather on the evening. Largest lead of the game at 30. 61-30 advantage Trojans. 61-31 advantage Trojans. And I think we have a carry called out front. Good eye there.
Bishop Chatard checking in 21. Nolan Stifler.
You know, to go back on your IHSAA officials read, which everyone who is available should become an IHSAA official.
Of course.
The training portion, I would actually love to see, like, what that would be like as far, because if you don't think about staying in shape being a part of, like, the protocol for being a referee. Like, you have to be able to get up and down the floor or up and down the field, right? That's a very impressive thing, so.
I think it's like a presidential fitness exam type thing.
Maybe a police officer exam.
Shot off the mark from downtown, but a rebound and a basket for Nolan Stifler. Big bucket for him. Fans in attendance love it. Chase to the cup. He's fouled. Blocking foul is the call.
Trojans personal foul 21. Nolan Stifler, his first.
In Joey Lindstrom news,
At the line for the Techies.
apparently I missed this today because we talked about officials earlier. Dak Prescott apologizes about his comments towards the officials, said he was caught up in emotions when praising fans for throwing debris at the officials from over the weekend.
Not to shed light on it, I, as a Cowboys fan, would never throw trash on an official.
I appreciate you clarifying that. I didn't mean to lump you in with those Cowboys fans that did.
Yeah, pretty inexcusable acts by them, right? But, I mean, for Dak to kind of affirm it and indirectly or directly, that was not a good look. So glad he apologized, but it doesn't really take away the action.
Shot up. No, it'll be a foul on the floor. Ben Wright thought he was getting an and one opportunity. Instead, we're headed the other way. Illegal screen the call. It's going to go against Nolan Stifler. His second and the fifth on the team. Buck 19 to go in this third quarter. A 31-point lead for Bishop Chatard. Well on their way to the City Alliance final. It's the City Alliance second round, I should say. If you look at the rest of the field in general, one of the favorites to make the final, no doubt about it, is this Trojans roster. Williams gets to go. First points of the quarter for him. Give him 12 on the night.
As they move through the tournament, I'm going to be very much looking at the way Sylvester Williams plays a role, right? Tonight, after A.J. Roseman has had such a great night, he's also had an equally great night. And it's because he's not playing like he needs to score all the points. He's playing opportunistic. He's pouncing on the ball when he needs to and making baskets happen, especially in the fast break moments. And even like that.
Quickly up ahead, Williams sees daylight. And he's fouled.
Yeah, very hard foul on that one. I think that if you're Gabe Story, probably a little bit of frustration, especially with the way this game started, right? I mean, you were keeping pace with Chatard, but now being down by 33 points is probably insurmountable at this point, so you're probably frustrated.
And we talk about where fouls are going to be placed, but I mean, because you look at it, should you be fouling? You still want to play defense and learn, but should you be fouling down 33? And for the Techies, it might not be a matter of should we be fouling. It might be a matter of are we going to have enough players to finish? Because it's not all over the board. They still have players on the roster that are clean of fouls, or maybe only have one foul to their credit. But they have a number of guys, 2-3 fouls already into foul trouble with this fourth quarter upcoming.
Yep, they've created a lot of different looks with a lot of different guys, but when you're struggling to service a full team, that makes it tough. I think this is our first appearance, too, from James Long, number 2 for Purdue Poly.
Good eye on you. The freshman's appeared in 4 games this year. Give it 5 now. Wells picks up the foul, his second. 6th on the team, and Primal's headed to the charity strike.
Primus is such a talented player when he's moving laterally and trying to make open shots or trying to get guys open. He's also an equally good slasher when he's trying to go to the hoop. But I think he works best when he's on the run and instead of trying to work in these set plays.
He averages about 2 assists a game, able to facilitate it well. Final 45 seconds of this third quarter. Right. Now Wells. Match up with Long. Down the lane, left side, 3 in the air, right. It's good. Ben Wright from downtown. His first triple attempted on the season. He knocks it down. Leads up to 36. An answer 3, off the mark. Rebound taken by the Trojans. Right, up ahead, to the cup. Off the mark. He wants it again in the corner. He hit 1. Can he make it 2? No, it's short. Got the rebound, though. 1 second left. Heaves it up with one hand and hits the top of the backboard. Right, unaware of where they were in the quarter, but still a fun quarter for him and the Trojans. They expand their lead to 36, 69 to 33. Final frame up next on IndianaSRN.
Bertner Electric Incorporated has been proudly serving our residential and commercial customers with quality electrical repair for over 33 years. We are fully licensed and insured in electrical wiring and electrician service packages. You'll receive a competitive assessment, whether you're a homeowner or a business owner, first-time or long-time customer. We offer free estimates for any new project. Call our licensed and experienced electricians today.
Can't make it to the game? We've got your back. Just go to www.IndianaSRN.org and tune in to all of the live action or go to our on-demand service and relive your favorite moments.
A look at the Chatard Trojan huddle. Want to remind you while we have a second to tune into Basketball Weekly, an in-depth look at high school basketball with Troy D and the coach every Monday on IndianaSRN.org and on our sports page. They got guests, upcoming schedules, and so much more. Basketball Weekly on IndianaSRN.org. Also follow us on Twitter at IndianaSRN or on YouTube. Make sure to subscribe and like us on Facebook. If you'd like to contact us about an upcoming game that you'd like to be a part of or want to help us put young student athletes on our broadcasts across the state of Indiana, give us an email at coach@indianasrn.org. That's coach@indianasrn.org. Or go to indianasrn.org and click that donate button today. IndianaSRN, where you're always in the game. Jimmy Cook alongside Joey Lindstrom. Final quarter of first-round City Alliance tournament action. 69-33 advantage. Techies make it 69-35 as James Long gets into the scorebook for Purdue.
The young freshman driving to the hole. I love it. Just lay the floater up there.
20,
get your bucket.
27-8. Trojans outscored the Techies in that third quarter.
Kind of the bucket for Wade McAllister too. I mean, that's the type of play where you're maybe they're not counting it. They're lining up for the inbound. There you go. Foul was on the floor. I thought he went up and shot it too.
You were deceived by the PA announcer.
I was. I watched it go in, and I was listening rather than watching the stripes.
So it'll be called against Kobe Jenkins, his first, the fourth on the team. Right, looking to inbound. Wells. Right, feeds it inside. Spinning, turning, and scoring. Excuse me, off the mark, I should say. Looked good for a minute for McAllister, but he'll head to the line for 2 free throws. Wade McAllister, a 25% free throw shooter on the season, though the junior has appeared in 11 games so far this year.
Yeah, that he has. He's the type of player where you don't see him off on the floor, but he does make an impact when he is there, whether it's rebounding, whether it's setting picks, and whether it's going up and possibly getting free throw shots, right? I mean, he's a guy who creates opportunities for himself.
And a great entry pass as well there.
It was
by Chatard to set him up.
Yeah, exactly. They like to get him open and get him opportunities. I think that's really the meat and potatoes of this Chatard bunch is creating opportunities for their teammates. There's not, I mean, you could look at A.J. Roseman and say he scores north of 20 points, but at the same time, so do all his teammates. They're all creating opportunities for themselves and finding different ways to get open.
Bonus is in effect. So we'll get Damian Green to the charity stripe. And those are the type of qualities that you want and would expect in a championship caliber team. No one puts themselves above the team.
Exactly. Hence why they're so good this year and why they haven't lost a game.
And it's the culture that Coach Roseman has established in just a year.
Yep.
They lost in the sectional first round last year, and now you're looking at this group like they might win a state title.
Yep. They really are solid, and there's not anything that really, the only thing that, if I had to pick one thing, and this is being super nitpicky, it's the way that they keep pace with people. Sometimes they're just a step behind when the other team's going in fast break mode.
I think you're required to give out your handle so the Chatard community can critique you.
That's okay. Honestly, at Jay Linney, give me a follow, give me a shout. But at the same time, I am in this chair to be objective about both sides.
You need to do what you can.
Yeah.
Got to keep it within the purview on both sides. We've got some, I don't know if it's blood or just moisture on the floor. But I believe this is an official's timeout.
Right.
We take a look at the Trojan huddle. Tonight's game is brought to you by the IHSAA Foundation. Subscribe to our newsletter, The Advocate, at IHSAAfoundation.org. I want to always thank the IHSAA Foundation for what they're doing for our student athletes. Techies break their huddle. Want to remind you we will have the City Alliance tournament throughout the week into next Monday on IndianaSRN. Every round covered right here, all the way up to the championship game on Monday night. Long three-pointer in the air and air ball. Rebound Techies. That's a tough shot by Kobe Jenkins. Got it to go down. Utilizing the window.
You got to. I mean, when you're down that low and you got nowhere else to place the ball, finding just that little window will help.
A little bit of contact. They say play on. Perkins. I think that Kobe Jenkins rather. The shot up, and no, it's an offensive foul. Thought we were going to get an and one opportunity, but sliding in his second charge on my count that he's taken tonight, Kevin Wells. I always like when programs, high school or college, track that.
Yeah.
They track that in the book. Maybe the coach has something separate. You know, there's obviously no helmet stickers utilized, but something to give praise to the guys that are willing to go in the trenches there and go take a charge.
You don't have to wear the badge of honor after you do it, or you really can't because there's no one there in your basketball uniform to do it. But it is something that you get your team pumped up, does a lot for your team, even when you're up 71-38, and you're still playing with that kind of effort. That's a great sign.
What if a team, assuming they have the budget for this is going totally outside the box, you have team shoes, right? Team colorways, whatever you want to call it. Let's say there's blue and white shoes for everybody on the Trojans. We have a foul and some free throws upcoming. Then you could institute the helmet sticker. Just put it all over the shoe. Get a white base. Except it's a shoe sticker at this point.
That's true. Maybe do a little plasti dip.
Yes.
For your shoes.
There you go.
Each time you get, that'd be a long process. A lot of drying. Play a lot of games during the week. That would be tough. But I agree. They should have a little symbol. You know, why not?
Anything that'll bring the group together.
Yeah.
Free throw off the mark.
Not that this team needs more camaraderie, but if you can give a little boost, give a little juice for your guys, why not?
Well, basketball's so fast-paced, you don't get to have that enjoyment of like a turnover chain on the sideline, if you will, right? You don't have that. You need something more post-game able to utilize.
Yep, I agree.
Free throws are split there by Zaring.
I had a coach in high school give they had one single sweatband given out post-game for the MVP of the game, right? Similar to a game ball. And that player had to wear it the next game. Obviously, you hope that player washed it.
Yeah, that's my question. My follow-up
pre-game.
This is not
getting to high school.
This is not a factory sealed new sweatband every time.
This is the dirty sweatband accrued over time.
It's appalling.
Yeah. And some people just their heads aren't made for sweatbands.
Yeah, imagine if you have somebody just has like a massive skull, and then you're the shortest guy on the team. There's a shot inside. Basket is good for Davidson as Chatard extends the lead. It's all stretched out now. It's basically a necklace for you.
Or it's around your ears and covering your eyes. It wasn't a functional sweatband, that's for sure.
No.
But that was the point. It's good for morale. That was the point.
Whatever you have for camaraderie.
Yeah, exactly.
On the world of baseball, the New York Yankees had a turtle they bought during the regular season last year. Bronxy the turtle supposed to get clubhouse camaraderie.
I don't think I even realized that.
I'm the only one that's going to know that because I'm the only one that cares about some baseball and the Yankees. But still, you have just one example there. Plenty of teams. Miami had the turnover chain for years at the college level. Something that continues to get people involved. I think Georgia or maybe Wisconsin had like shoulder pads, like epic, like spiked.
Georgia
like
has
Legion
those.
of Doom, which Georgia has that, right?
Yep.
For turnovers. So, yeah, just whatever you can. Get the team together and behind you. Layup off the mark. Second chance is good there for Perkins.
The team we played in college for football had a turnover cane, so they were very classy about the way they danced with the said cane, and it had diamonds crusted on the top.
It's beautiful.
It had a way too much swag for us, so it was good that it was on the opposite team.
You never know what you're going to see on the other end of the sideline or other end of the court. Williams operating, halfway gone in this fourth quarter. Sylvester down the lane. Iron is kind that time.
Love the way Sylvester Williams plays. He's so good at, call him Sly for a reason, right? And he's so good at slipping through the defense or just making those kind of unsung hero plays and getting involved and creating turnovers just by deflecting balls away. It's just those little idiosyncrasies in his game that make him a extremely valuable asset.
That has to be unofficially the fourth charge taken by the Trojans tonight.
I love the effort. You're up by 38 and
you're
still
starting
letting
to get deep into the bench, getting plenty of guys playing time. I always hate the phrase garbage time, particularly at this level, but you're getting playing time in this game, and you're still willing to go out there, step in front, and take a charge. That time it was Davidson, who's a regular role player. But anybody on the floor right now is going to be willing to go and step up, take a charge for the team.
It's got to be attributed to the way that Coach Roseman has developed his guys. Look again. There you go.
Another offensive foul. That is the third charge taken by Kevin Wells alone tonight. Coach Roseman, if you listen to this after the fact, you need something. It doesn't have to be a turnover chain, but something. Maybe a charge crown. Just anything.
Ooh, I like that.
That would work with the Trojans, right? You could have a crown.
A lightning bolt.
Yeah, I like that as well.
There you go. Something to accentuate this madness. The bravery, right, to take a charge even when you're up by, and it's not like critical at this point to the game.
Yep.
So it's all about effort. I love it.
Stifler gets the basket to go. Even I'm not familiar with my my world history here, but even if you look at the Chatard logo, you could have the helmet just like that. Keep it within the culture.
Coach wears the helmet the entire game. Throughout playoffs.
And then he gives it to I'm thinking about the charge. I'm still focused on the charge here.
Just give it to a guy who charged.
Coach can. I appreciate that as well, but maybe you have multiple of the helmets, and then you have a platoon if you have multiple charges taken. We have at least 4 players that have taken a charge tonight.
I agree. There's got to be old football helmets in the equipment room that you could just buzzsaw on the sides.
Cut part of a broom in half.
Add a Trojan Mohawk style.
Just take the bristles from the broom.
Yeah.
Just super glue it right on there.
We'll accept our royalties.
Yeah, I was going to say we're giving free marketing out here to Chatard. I would give ideas to the techies, but you already have Purdue ties. You can pretty much get a sledgehammer, plenty of steer into the Purdue Pete skid if it was, and steal from them.
Wouldn't really want to wear Purdue Pete's head all the
I wouldn't
time.
want to either.
Yeah, that'd be bad news. But I love the mascot techies too. I think that's fun. You never hear it.
It's very unique, particularly at the high school level. I enjoy seeing uniqueness. There's a turnover, and here come the Trojans up the way again, sent into next week by James Long. They stay with it, though. Get the basket to go, Wade McAllister.
How about this freshman James Long? Came into the game, not expecting much, but hits a couple shots.
That right there is what you want to see.
And another block. That's what you want to see.
From a young player coming off the bench,
yep,
getting his opportunity, making effort plays.
In the final minute, too. I mean, this is encouraging if you're Purdue Poly.
3 in the air, off the mark. Rebound, Trojans. Stifler leaves to right. McAllister. Now Wells. Final 30 seconds. Right, the sea parted for him, and good show of sportsmanship there. Didn't go up for the layup. No shot clock present in high school basketball. As long as you don't have a 5-second closely guarded count, the Trojans can operate as they please.
Been impressed with how this Chatard team has operated. I look forward to watching their matchup as they move on in this tournament. It's going to be a lot of fun.
We have a foul called at half court by the far side official. And so Ben Wright's going to shoot some free throws with .4 to go in the game.
Now don't Dak Prescott on us.
I want to remind you, you can get involved in the game, become an IHSAA official today. Contact Sandra Walter at ihsaa.org/officials. You can stay in shape, make some extra money. Training classes are starting for the spring season now. Contact Sandra today. As Coach Keith Myers says, she'll gladly answer your call, or at least get back to you as soon as she can. 317-846-6601. Free throws are completed. And that's your final. The Bishop Trojans move on to the second round of the city tournament, courtesy of an 85-41 victory over the Purdue Polytechnics. We'll step away. We come back. We'll look at upcoming broadcasts on the IndianaSRN family of networks, hand out some post-game hardware a little later, and wrap things up from Bishop Chatard. You're watching High School Hoops on IndianaSRN.
You want a career that will transform your life while you change the lives of others by helping them live well. With a health or exercise sciences degree from IUPUI School of Health and Human Sciences, you will gain an in-depth understanding of the healthcare industry while preparing you for a variety of graduate and professional programs in health. And with Indy as your classroom, you will have clinical options within leading hospitals right in our backyard, as well as a degree from Indiana University, reputable leaders in the healthcare industry. It all starts here.
Can't get to a computer? Then we've got you covered. Just go to the IndianaSRN app and stay up to date with all of your favorite teams. You can watch live coverage or relive the experience with our on-demand service.
Welcome back to Bishop Chatard High School. A highly happy Bishop Chatard student section and players out there singing the Bishop Chatard fight song, 85-41. They're moving on in the Circle City to make that the City Alliance tournament. Into the second round they go. We're going to have coverage of that for you all week long, as well as other games on the IndianaSRN family of networks. Next City Alliance game is on Wednesday at 7:30. And then a whole slew of games on Thursday and Friday. All of those games on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday set for 7:30 start times. For those not involved in the City Alliance tournament, we'll have South Vermilion at Greencastle, and then Laurel Homeschool against Horizon Christian. Then on Saturday, 6 o'clock and 8 o'clock, it's the semifinals of the City Alliance Championship. Go to IndianaSRN.org for those times and listings, as well as matchups, stats, recaps, and more. And go to IndianaSRN on Twitter. Give us a follow for all those updates and notifications when those live streams occur. We'll be back in just a moment for the final time to hand out our post-game hardware and wrap things up on IndianaSRN.
Becoming a licensed sports official is a great way to make a positive difference in the community and support the over 160,000 Indiana student athletes that participate across 22 IHSAA sports. Sports officiating allows you to stay connected to the game, become a role model for our young student athletes, earn extra money, and support the patrons and communities of our IHSAA member schools. To learn more about becoming a licensed IHSAA official, log on to ihsaa.org/officials today.
We encourage you to follow us on Twitter at IndianaSRN. Find upcoming games, video highlights, and much more. Follow us now at IndianaSRN.
Welcome back at Bishop Chatard High School. A victorious Bishop Chatard Trojans, 85-41 over the Purdue Poly Techies. Jimmy Cook alongside Joey Lindstrom for the final time for Bishop Chatard High School here on the Family Source Insurance post-game show. Now time to hand out our post-game award. That, of course, is Player of the Game. Could have gone a couple ways with this, but I think we've made a decision on that, Joey.
A.J. Roseman has won our hardware tonight, Jimmy, and for a couple reasons. He was able to facilitate a lot of new offense for his team. He was able to get rebounds for his team. He was able to catch and shoot comfortably. But I think the part of his game that you really appreciate the most is his ability to put pressure on offensive players when he's on the defensive side. He was able to get his hands into passing lanes. He was able to go after the rebounds, and he was able to make steals and intercept passes. He's the type of guy that you want on your team. He's a clear leader for this Bishop Chatard squad. They look to him to go make plays, and he consistently answers. Big part of the reason why they've moved to 13-0 tonight.
Tip of the cap to A.J. Roseman, our player of the game. Well, the Purdue Poly Techies fall to 4-11 on the season and are bounced out in the first round of the City Alliance tournament. They will next be in action on January 29th, so 11 days off for them when they are on the road. Another tough task for them at 4A Cathedral. Meanwhile, Chatard, their best start in school history, continues 13-0 on the season for Kenny Roseman's club. They'll be in action on Thursday night, likely hosting the second round of the Circle City, make that the City Alliance tournament. Check IndianaSRN.org and all your local listings for where that matchup goes. That should be announced later tonight or tomorrow. Some final thoughts from this one, Joe.
You know, I think if you're Purdue Poly, you look at it and say, look, we had a great opening first quarter and beginning of the second quarter. Wheels kind of fell off after that, after not making a few shots that really they should have made, and Bishop Chatard took advantage. But if you're Chatard, business as usual, it felt like tonight. They've been able to take advantage of most every team, and I think that's going to continue. I'm excited to see how they do in this tournament, and it was a fun one with you, man.
Always a pleasure, good sir. This broadcast is copyrighted by IndianaSRN and the Indiana High School Athletic Association for the private use for audience. The use of video, audio, or pictures without the express written permission of the IHSAA is prohibited. It's been a fun broadcast for tonight. I want to give a special shout out to Ben doing a wonderful job behind the ones and twos, and Ken getting all our shots throughout the evening on location at Bishop Chatard. For my partner Joey Lindstrom, I'm Jimmy Cook. Again, our final score in this one, Bishop Chatard defeats Purdue Poly 85-41 to move on to the second round of the City Alliance tournament. And until we talk to you next time, so long, everybody.